At DICE Summit 2019, Layden, chairman at Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, offered a brief survey of PlayStation's past, present, and future, and touted a qualitative above all approach to shipping video games. During his keynote, Layden, who's been involved with the PlayStation business since the brand's inception, unexpectedly spent time talking candidly about the PlayStation 3, a console that would serve as a low point in the PlayStation business. PS3 was a stark moment of hubris, our Icarus moment, he said. For our business, the fall was sharp. Layden admitted that Sony did not listen to developers or to players closely enough. A high price point and a punishing developer environment were major factors in taking PlayStation down a few notches. Sony was able to ride the path with the PlayStation 4, which was designed with close input from game developers, and led the PlayStation business to rebound from this 3's underperformance. Layden took plenty of time to tout Sony's successes, from hits like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, but also praised competitors and partners, describing game development as a creative-led endeavor that needs to be balanced carefully as a business. He noted the SWITCH's massive success, which caught naysayers by surprise. Nintendo took a massive risk when they brought Switch to market. As I have said before, never underestimate Nintendo, he said. Layden took time to praise Microsoft and its innovative adaptive controller, which is designed for players with limited mobility. He hinted that Sony needs to also broaden the tent and make games accessible to everyone, and that Sony should lead from the front in terms of expanding its market beyond non-traditional audiences. This is important work, he said. Regarding accessibility and games, Layden said, our industry is at an inflection point. Gamers do not grow out of gaming anymore. We do not see games as childish things that need to be put away. For Sony, he said, PlayStation's game development strategy is simply qualitative above all. He reiterated his sentiments from a recent interview that Sony will continue to release fewer games than in the past, but they plan on making sure those games are a success. He also said development of new intellectual properties is necessary, even if extremely difficult, as it takes more time. We have to give it more time, he said. While Steam is chock full of horror games, the Distraint series stands out by relying less on creepy monsters and jump scares and more on the oppressive atmosphere of worldwide corporate hegemony. It's managed to garner quite a bit of acclaim, too, with 98% of the reviews proving positive. It's not for everyone, but as one-man studio Jess McCannon explains in this lightly edited QA, the series' success is the result of careful experimentation with a variety of art styles, and a careful eye for what stands out in a crowded genre. I do not think there are too many similar games to Distraint out there. Instead of constant jump scares and mindless gore, Distraint relies more on the tense atmosphere. Horror is more psychological than visual. The Distraint series explores human feelings and behavior in a somewhat goofy and scary way. I want my games to be funny, scary and touching so that the players can expect meaningful stories. I have tried different art styles from realistic to cartoonish. Making cartoonish art allows way more relaxed animation, which is a lot quicker to create. For a one-man band like me, it's vital to make progress instead of getting stuck to a small detail for too long. I actually started creating this happy pixel art platformer game, which in the end turned into the Distraint series. It was quite fun turning the platformer game into something else. I started playing around and soon it went from being pixel art to low-res pixel art combo. I am also playing with the color scheme to add a dreamy atmosphere, and to my eye, it makes my games more beautiful to look at in a relatively easy way too. In the end, for me, it's all about how to use time effectively. Distraint. I did my best to read as many opinions on Distraint 1 as possible and try to improve on those areas. I also decided that Distraint 2 would be a lot more detailed and polished, and I think I succeeded very well in that area. I also wanted to make the story more abstract, and maybe even a bit more serious, and I think it shows. The first game was about main character, Price's inner struggle, about losing hope. It's a very dark tale indeed. In the sequel, I wanted to focus on hope, and how it can change everything. In a way, these games are very different from each other. Distraint 2 has a very deep and thoughtful story, and I do like to think it's quite realistic too. At times, it's super difficult. It's not the actual creation progress, but the mental side. Making a game is a huge task, and you might spend thousands of hours doing it. It's tough to keep the motivation up at times, and finish what you have started. To me, this is the biggest challenge. There is also the financial pressures. After spending 1.5 years creating a game, it needs to sell. I am developing full-time, so it's not all about the fun. I am afraid, but I have been able to survive. Fingers crossed Distraint 2 will do well enough. As for creating itself, when you feel inspired, it's incredibly fun. The internet is full of tutorials these days too, so you are bound to learn as you go if you are determined. For now, I cannot complain really. I would not want to do anything else. Well, maybe music. I swear this is the trickiest question people are asking. I do not have any clear inspiration, but I have noticed I am picking things here and there. I am seeing and hearing some influences from the music I listen, movies I watch, and games I played. For example, at times I get the Shining or Twin Peaks vibes when I play my games, but I rarely see this while developing. It's subconscious. I think this is a funny one. Actually, I can understand how my game might send that message, but in reality, the first game is all about Price's inner struggle. It was never about anti-corporate stuff, but to highlight Price's struggle, I wanted to add these heartless douchebag bosses that are all about the money. I wanted to create this moral money conflict. I am by no means anti-corporate person myself, but people are different, and some could react strongly in such stuff such as Mr. Price. Thanks for all the people for their support, and please stop emailing me about Distraint 2 Android and iOS versions. Haha, they are in the works and coming early 2019. The Chinese internet company NetEase has acquired a minority stake in Heavy Rain and Detroit, become human developer Quantic Dream. The company made the undisclosed investment, though its online games division NetEase Games, and said the move will help it further the development and distribution of global online games. Quantic will continue to operate independently following the deal, which French studio claims will allow it to develop advanced tech and games for the future, while supporting its vision of becoming a global multi-franchise entertainment company. With a strong focus on in-house development, we are constantly looking for partners that complement us in the development and creation of the next generation games, said NetEase Vice President Ethan Wang, explaining the move. Quantic Dream's excellence in interactive storytelling and the valuable expertise it has built over the past 2 decades is exactly what we have been looking for. Sebastian S. DPI, the creative director of CD Projekt Red, upcoming game Cyberpunk 2077 is seemingly making the jump from the Polish studio to Blizzard Entertainment, as spotted by the Resetter user. SDPY's LinkedIn account shows him as having started at Blizzard in January as a creative director on an unnamed project, though that same profile has not been updated to show when he left CD Projekt Red. SDPY spent over 12 years at CD Projekt Red, working as a dialogue writer, lead story designer, creative director, and narrative and setting director throughout this time with the company. During that time, SDPY had his hands in the creation of all 3 games in the Witcher series, including several enhanced edition releases, and, most recently, Cyberpunk 2077. The Gamasutra job board is the most diverse, active and established board of its kind for the video game industry.